Welcome back. The Federal High Court sitting in Lagos has fixed May the 15th for trial of 2 Chinese and a Nigerian charged before it for allegedly importing substandard automobile tires worth about 5 billion naira. The court fixed a date after granting the bail application of the 3 defendants. Bail was granted in the sum of 10 million naira each, with 2 sureties each in the same sum. The defendants are Tao Lung-shun, Chu Jingyao and Won Chinedu Madubuike. They were arraigned alongside 2 companies, Senior Nigeria Limited and Nadeka International Limited, by the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice. In granting their bail applications, the trial judge ordered the 2 Chinese nationals to both submit their international passport and residential permits to the court's Deputy Chief Registrar. And a former Group Managing Director of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, Mr. Andrew Yakubu, has been granted bail in the sum of 300 million naira. Mr. Yakubu is facing a 6-count charge of money laundering as preferred against him by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC. The charges were all in relation to the money recovered from his house in Kaduna on the 3rd of February. Well, following the arraignment of Mr. Yakubu on March 16th, Justice Ahmed Mohammed of the Federal High Court in Abuja ordered that he be remanded in Kuje prison. Ruling on the defendant's bail application, Justice Ahmed Mohammed observed that he had no reason to believe that the former NNPC GMD would jump bail. He then proceeded to grant bail to Mr. Yakubu for 300 million naira with 2 sureties in like sum. Enugu State Governor Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi has pledged to provide funds and other logistics to secure the services of legal aid for inmates across the prisons. The governor, who is speaking during a visit to the state's maximum prison, says this is geared towards decongesting the state prisons.
The Enugu prisons witnessing the visit of an august visitor on an august occasion. Governor Ugwuanyi has come to have a timeout with the inmates who, in appreciation of the visit, took to the dance floor. The state comptroller of prisons, who claimed the governor has been of great assistance to the prison service, sued for more support.
All these prisons convey their awaiting trial persons to court in all parts of Enugu State for trial, including suspects with capital offences, to the extent that staff cars are even used in some places, which is not a healthy development, as there could be an attack on the way.
While responding, the governor said the state was committed to its prisons decongestion, with funds already provided for that purpose.
A cardinal responsibility of the government to cater for the well-being of everybody and every segment, group or class in the society. We have, in this respect, taken due notice of the sewage and allied challenges confronting this prison and have resolved to take necessary measures to address them adequately and satisfactorily.
According to the State Attorney General, the funds would assist in securing the services of lawyers.
The 10 million naira that will be available to pay honorarium to lawyers that will be prepared to accept, I may call it a pittance, to assist in decongesting the prison.
By this gesture, the governor may have demonstrated a resolve worth sustaining towards a people often neglected by the society.
The police says it's unsure of the identity of a body recovered from the Lagos lagoon. This retraction is coming after the Commissioner of Police had confirmed to Channels Television that the body of Dr. Olwell Orji, who jumped into the lagoon on Sunday, had been found. He had earlier claimed that Orji's body was found by the Marine Police at the Onikan end of the lagoon. The search is still on 3 days after the incident happened. Dr. Orji, who worked at the Mount Sinai Hospital in the Surulere area of Lagos State, was said to be on his way to Victoria Island for a meeting with the Medical and Dental Association of Nigeria when the incident happened.
It's true that we gave that information that the body of Dr. Orji was recovered by the Marine Police. We've done a more discreet investigation, examination of the body, using the driver, who we can say was the last person that saw Dr. Orji. And I was personally there while this examination was being conducted. And the driver had said that, no, this wasn't the pant, that is a trouser that my Oga, as he used it, put on while we were together. As of the time the body was seen, because we've not had any incident of someone drowning or someone missing in water, it was believed that maybe the wave, the tidal wave had moved the body to that place. And since it's within the search area, we thought it was the body of Dr. Oji. With this information now, we'll continue with the search with the local divers that we're using and the Lagos State Emergency Team that has been in that operation with us since on Sunday.
Well, right now let's join Anne Nwaldo, who has some news about Nigeria and the recession and, of course, other business stories.
You first. First Bank.
Thanks a lot, Millicent. And indeed, it's some cherry news for Nigerians and foreign investors. Latest data released today by World Economics shows that Nigeria's economy is gradually coming out of recession after 10 months of consecutive contraction. According to the March Sales Managers Index data, market growth index rose to 53.5 in the month of March, while the monthly sales growth index edged up to 51.3. That's its highest value since March 2016. Overall, the data indicates that conditions in Nigeria have indeed improved over the past month, and managers are very optimistic that the economy will continue to grow. The chairman of Honeywell Flour and the CEO of the Year winner at the 2016 edition of the Africa CEO Forum, Obal Tudeko, says Africa should build global business champions and brands instead of continental ones. At the end of the 2017 edition of the Africa CEO Forum in Geneva, Switzerland, Obal Tudeko stressed the need for Africa to develop new strategies to deal with political interference and challenges in their domestic economies.
Public-private sector partnership is that model that can deliver the champions that we are looking for, in which case each of the partners of the public and the private are running their agenda and running them holistically with commitment and in a focused manner. The public sector bringing the policies and the regulations that will provide reliable and stable markets, as well as the private sector doing their own, working on standards that are best practices, global standard. What is clear is that there is nothing like African standard. It's got to be global in order that companies in Africa can also win.
While it's not good news for Cadbury Nigeria, it is reporting a disappointing performance in its earnings result for the year 2016. According to its latest financial statement, which was released today, the company's profit before tax fell to 562.87 million naira in 2016. That's in contrast to 1.57 billion naira, which was recorded in 2015. The after-tax profit fell to 296.40 million naira, from 1.15 billion naira, while its earnings per share dropped to 16 kobo from 61 kobo in the period under review. However, the company's revenue increased slightly by 2.7 billion naira to 29.9 billion naira in 2016 from 27.82 billion naira in 2015. Sell-offs, mostly from the banking and consumer goods sectors, pulled the Nigerian Stock Exchange down nearly 0.5% at the close of today's session. Let's now join Harriet Agbeni for the details.
Profit taken across major counters at the Nigerian equities market and the decision by Nigeria's Monetary Policy Committee to leave key rates unchanged saw the market drop about 44 basis points at the close of Tuesday's session. Analysts also attribute the negative performance to disappointing 2016 earnings result released by Cadbury Nigeria on Tuesday, which also topped a list of 24 losers. On the other hand, Julius Berger, Livestock Feed, and National Salt Company were the major gainers from a list of 13 advancers. In contrast to Monday's transactions, Tuesday's session saw a lower turnover of 153.72 million shares sold in 2,675 deals for over 1.50 billion naira. Major contributors to that turnover were UBA, CNI Leasing, and Dangote Sugar. Those are the day's trading figures. I'm Harriet Agbinyi.
Thank you, Harriet. And as for European and U.S. stock markets, they closed lower today as investors focus on the U.S. healthcare bill seeking to replace Obamacare, in addition to the impact of falling yields on bank stocks. Let's see the figures. Thank you for watching Business News Tonight. I'm Anne Nwawado. The rest of the news at 10 continues with Millicent.
Thank you, Anne. Unilever Nigeria Limited, makers of Pepsodent toothpaste, has launched Little Brush, Big Brush campaign as its way to celebrate 2017 World Oral Health Day. The company says it is spreading knowledge that will promote oral health and consequently general wellness. Our correspondent Ini Thompson has more.
It's not a normal school day for these children who have been invited by Pepsodent to be part of the celebration of the World Oral Health Day with the theme Leave Mouth Smart. They have the stage as the show begins with them. All this with adults, which include the management of Unilever Nigeria Limited, NGOs, parents, members of government organizations and parastatals watching, and they have knowledge to share on the World Oral Health Day.
The theme for this year's World Oral Health Day celebration is Leave Mouth Smart. In other words, we're trying to say that you're taking good care of your mouth ensures a good general health.
The Taste-Like study showed how important it is to teach children about brushing day and night. It found that those who taught to brush day and night from a very young age had 15% fewer treatments compared to 20 years later.
The Minister of State for Health, Dr. Osage Ehaniri, is a part of the event.
The World Oral Health Day offers the dental and oral health community a platform from which to help reduce the global disease burden, with efforts focused on protecting the teeth and mouth of the population from childhood to adulthood.
Unilever Nigeria Limited takes the celebration a step further by launching a new campaign, Little Brush, Big Brush.
So we brought out some heroes from Pepsodent to ensure that we help them, the children, understand why we want them to brush day and night. Because these heroes are people that they follow, and once they follow them, they are also able to engage their whole family. So it's something that is really interesting for the entire family.
The children leave the event with Pepsodent pledge. Ini Thompson reporting for Channels Television News.
The Ogun State Governor Ibikunle Amosun has assured primary school pupils in the state that the school's feeding program of the current administration will not only be sustained but also continuously improved on. The governor gave the assurance in Abeokuta, the state capital, while hosting the Minister of State for Budget and Planning, Mrs. Zainab Ahmed, who was on an inspection tour of the state. Mrs. Ahmed said she was impressed by Governor Amosun's passion for education, development and child welfare.